her from God to tell her. And we're about to get started with our first lesson for the night. She's telling me all these things. And I'm thinking about how, yes, life is chaotic and you can have all these things, but you're always going to have all these things. And it's just like I was saying before, you can't fix everything and then focus on God, because you just can't fix it without God. So you have to bring God into the situation, right? Bring God into the situation, and then let's work through these things. Only reason I even knew what to say and knew that this little sentence that kind of just popped in my head was, this is what she needs to hear, is because I've learned it myself and it's worked. If you learn something and it works, aren't you going to share it so that you can help someone else? Yeah. And so I go and I sit down and I'm kind of thinking about it, and I'm just like, man, that's this thing that she's talking about. For one, it's not going to get fixed overnight. No decisions can be made right now within the 24 hours we're here. But what can you do in 24 hours? You can just listen to God and connect with God. You can do that. That will be able to get done. And that will be able to help later on down the line. So the first thing you got to do is bring God in, how we did with this podcast. We paused, we stopped, we brought God in. Now let's talk. So I go to my table, which was across the room, and we're about to get started. And I go to her and I said, I feel like I should tell you this. I feel like God wants you to know this. I said, with this retreat, don't look for answers. Look for God. Look for intimacy with God. I think that's what was my words verbatim. Don't look for answers, but look for intimacy with God, or something like that. And the slogan for the week was intimacy with God. But that word, intimacy, was not a word that I would use. And I thought it was weird how the whole slogan was intimacy with God. It was kind of weird for me. And so that's another reason why I concluded, and I know that it didn't come from me, because if it came from me, I would have said, hey, you're not going to find all the answers today. Let's just focus on God. But that's not what I said. I said, hey, I think God wants me to tell you, don't look for answers this week, but look for intimacy with Him. When I got up, here's the background.